Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss multiple choice questions on life history of an angiospermic plant for NEET aspirant. Questions which are generally asked in your previous years, right? Hercogamy is seen in Calotropis, Ficus, Tacitus, Commelina. The correct option is Calotropis. Clistogamy is found in Calotropis, Tacitus, Commelina, Vicrinus, Ficus. The correct option is Commelina bengalensis. In which of the following plant is there an adaptation for cross pollination if self does not occur? Sunflower, mango, Vallisneria, ficus. It is the sunflower. In Vallisneria flowers, the stalk is coiled in male flowers, bisexual flowers, female flowers, male and female flowers both. Correct option is female flowers. Anemophilous flowers have small, smooth stigma in sessile, large feathery stigma, colored beautiful flower, that is large feathery stigma in case of anemophilous flower. An anther culture produce some diploid cells and some haploid cells. Which of the following produce diploid cells? Generative cell, vegetative cell, or pollen cells of anther wall, exine of pollen. It is cells of anther wall, right? Pollination by bats is called cryptoriphyly, entomophily, ornithophily, malcophily. It is cryptoriphyly. Pollination of slugs and snails is called malcophily, ornithophily, hydrophily, anemophily. It is malcophily. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is known as pollination. However, when a male gamete fuses with a female gamete, the process is known as dichogamy, autogamy, fertilization, cross-pair. Correct option is fertilization. During process of fertilization, it is usually found that the two male gametes, one fuses with the egg and the second with the secondary nucleus. This is known as simple fertilization, fusion, double fertilization, none of the correct option is double fertilization. The point where the funicle is attached to the body of the ovule is called chalaza, nucleus, hilum, micropyle. It is the hilum. On fertilization, the secondary nucleus forms seed, embryo, endosperm, cotyledon. Correct option is endosperm. When the funicle, chalaza and micropyle lies in one and the same vertical line in the ovule is known as anatropous, amphitropous, orthotropous, compilotropous. Correct option is orthotropous. During the process of fertilization, the pollen tube of the pollen grain usually enters the embryo sac through integument, chalaza, nucellus, micropyle. It is through the micropyle. The development of seedless fruit is known as hercogamy, morphogenesis, parthenogenesis. Correct option is parthenocarpy. The main embryo develops by the fusion of one of the male gametes with the two polar nuclei of the embryo sac, one of the nuclei of the secondary nucleus, the egg, one of the ciliary. It is one of the male gamete with the egg. When the anthers mature before the stigma, it is known as dicliny, heterostyle, protandry, protogyny. It is known as protandry. When the stigma matures before the anthers, it is known as protogyny, dicliny, protandry, heterostyle. Correct option is protogyny. The next one, when some natural barriers exist between the stamens and pistil to check self-pollination, it is known as dicliny, heterostyle, hercogamy, dichogamy. The correct option is hercogamy, which acts a passage for a pollen tube to reach ovary to fertilize the egg. Ovule, stigma, style, placenta. It is the style. The process of double fertilization was discovered by Strasburger, Robert Koch, Navashin, Drauset. It is Navashin. One cell is found on either side of the egg cell. These are known as antipodals, secondary nucleus, synergids, none other than it is synergids. Secondary nucleus formed by the fusion of two polar nuclei is also called definitive nucleus, sinusoid, tube nucleus, vegetative nucleus. It is the definitive nucleus. Father of Indian embryology was Theophrastus, P. Maheshwari, S. R. Kashyap, for the centapome. It is P. Maheshwari. The tapetal cells are haploid, diploid, polyploid, triploid. They are polyploid. The tapetal cells are uninucleate, anucleate, multinucleate, dikaryotic. They are multinucleate. The Ubish bodies are found in pollen tube, pollen grain, PMC, tapetal cell. It is in the tapetal cell. The Astrolochia elegans, the pollen tetrads are 2 types, 3 types, 4 types, 5 types. The tetrads are 5 types. Tapetal cells are secretory, glandular, A and B, both, none of the way, A and B, both. In dicots, the common type of pollen tetrads are tetrahedral, isobilateral, linear, decussate. It is tetrahedral. The compound pollen grains are present in juncus, Cryptostegia, Drosera, all of the above. All of the above. The pollinia are present in Calotropis, Asclepias, orchids, all of the above. The correct option, all of the above. The polysiphonous pollen grains are present in Malvaceae, Cucurbitaceae, both and B, none of them. Both A and B, that is Malvaceae, as well as on Cucurbitaceae. The integumentary outgrowth present at mitopilar end of castor seed is obturator, aerial, coruncle, none of the above. It is coruncle. The most common type of ovule in angiosperms is anatropous, amphitropous, orthotropous, sachinotropous. It is anatropous. The normal type of dicot embryo development was studied in Capsula, Cyprus, Calotropis, Sagittaria. It is Capsula. The normal type of embryo sac development was studied in Polygonum, Drusa, Potentiala, Capsula. It is Polygonum. The normal type of embryo sac is 8 nucleate 8 cell, 8 nucleate 7 cells, 7 nucleate 7 cells, 7 nucleate 8 cell. It is 8 nucleate 7 cell. The filiform apparatus is present in synergids, axil, antipodal, secondary nucleus. It is in synergids. The single shield-shaped cotyledon in monocots is called scutellum, epiblast, tigellum, none other. It is scutellum. The cotyledons are absent in the seeds of Cuscuta, Polygonum, Rhizophora, none other. It is Cuscuta. The viability of seed can be tested by 2,4-D, 2,4,5-T, TTC, IAA. It is TTC. Which of the following seeds has got longer viability? Nilambo, Nucifera, Eucalyptus, Dalbergia, Artocarpus. The correct option is Nilambo nucifera. Viviparous seed germination is characteristics of Rhizophora, Pisum, bean, gram. It is Rhizophora. Red light promotes seed germination of Lactea sativa, Alba lactea, Pisum, all of the above. That is Lactea sativa. Albuminous seeds are those which have cotyledons, endosperm, perisperm, none of them. It is endosperm. The remains of nucellus in the seed are called endothecium, perithecium, perishum, endosperm. It is perisperm. The obturator is an outgrowth of placenta or funiculus. It helps in pollination, entry of pollen tube into ovule, entry of water into seed, the formation of ovule. It is entry of pollen tube into the ovule. If wall of microsporangia in anther consists of 4 layers, endothecium lies inside the middle layer, tapetum lies just below the endothecium, middle layer lies in between the endothecium and tapetum, tapetum lies below the epidermis. The third option, middle layer lies in between the endothecium and tapetum. The tapetum is the nutritive layer which is generally degenerative at maturity, helps in dispersal of pollen grains, helps in the dehiscence of anther, none of the above. Correct option is first, it is a nutritive layer which generally degenerates at maturity. Before dehiscence of anther, epidermis degenerates, endothecium develops fibrous thickening, middle layer enlarged, tapetum develops fibrous thickening. Second one, endothecium develops from fibrous thickening. The fibrous bands of thickening in anther are let down in the form of spiral bands, in the form of radial bands, in the form of tangential strips, in the form of annuli. It is the second, in the form of radial band. The tapetal cells show mitotic divisions, meiosis only, mitosis and endomitosis, amitosis, and endomitosis. It is mitosis and endomitosis. Several pollen grains from a unit designated as a pollinium in Caesalopinidae, Cucurbitaceae, Asclepiadaceae, cruciferi. The correct answer is Asclepiadaceae. Asclepiadaceae. In Gamopiteli, the ovules are generally unitegmic and tenunucleate, bitegmic and tenunucleate, unitegmic and crassinucleate, bitegmic and crassinucleate. Correct option first, unitegmic and tenunucleate. A caruncle is formed from the cells of outer integument, inner integument, nucellus, funiculum. It is the outer integument. Usual type of tetrad of megaspores in angiosperms is dicoset, isobilateral, linear, tetrahedral. It is linear. When only the first division of the primary endosperm nucleus is followed by the wall formation, the endosperm is termed cellular, helobial, nuclear, eumenate. It is cellular. The plumal sheath is called scutellum, coleorhiza, coleoptile, endosperm. It is coleoptile. In which of the following seed the testa is a fleshy and edible? Cycas, bean, pomegranate, custard apple. It is pomegranate. Apomixis in plant means development of new plant without meiosis and fertilization. Development of new plant from fusion of two gametes. Both and A and B are possible. None of the above is correct. First option is correct. Development of new plant without meiosis and fertilization. Banana fruits are seedless because they are triploid, have plenty of auxins, reproduce asexually. All of the above are wrong. Because they are triploid. Which part of the embryo comes out first during seed germination? Cotyledons, plumule. During say radical endosperm, it is radical. Which hormone can break seed germination? ABA, GA, coumarin, none. It is GA, gibberellins. Weakening of seed coat to allow entry of water into seed is called stratification. Dormancy is scarification. None of that. It is scarification. Heteroblastic development refers to different seasons of growth and flowering. Adult morphologically different from juvenile age. Occurrence of two types of flowers in the same stage. Presence of two types of spore. The second option is correct. Adult morphologically different from juvenile state. A clone is a group of individuals obtained through self-pollination, hybridization, vegetative propagation, cross-pollination. It is vegetative propagation. Which chemical can be utilized to change plant into homologous diploid plant? DDT, colchicine, acetic acid, LSD. It is colchicine. Juvenile phase is dormant phase and active phase. Early phase in which plant undergoes vegetative growth but unable to form flowers. None of that. C option is correct. Early phase in which plant undergoes vegetative growth but unable to form flowers. The study of flower is called pomology. Anthology is pomology. It is called anthology. Aseptic culture refers to the tissues or organs growing in the absence of other organs, presence of bacteria. None of the above. A and B both are. Absence of other organism. The non-pathological abnormal growth of a plant tissue involved uncontrolled cell division is designed as gall, cancer, tumor, callus. It is the callus. I hope everything is clear. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. Again, we will meet in the next video with more important questions asked in your NEET examination. Thank you.